Hello, my name is Jeff Young, and this is Management 3385, a course that is being offered by St. Mary's University through Brightspace. And the course runs from January 2018 until April 2018. The purpose of the video is to allow me to introduce myself to you and to give you an overview of a number of the key elements of the course that are discussed in a bit more detail in the course syllabus. The first thing that I would like to ask you to do is to read the course syllabus. If you go to the course site on Brightspace and click on course content, it's on the bar on the upper right corner of your screen. Click on that, and then you'll get a drop box. Click on content, and that will bring you to the course syllabus and the various course modules associated with the course. But please do read the syllabus. So, first of all, this is Management 3385. It's an introduction to human resource management. So we're relying really on a textbook. I'll hold this one up so you can get a view of that book. But anyway, it's available at the St. Mary's bookstore. It is the 11th edition of the Schwind, Uggersley, Wager, Fassina, and Bullmash text. Please get a copy of the text. It's very important, not only in terms of allowing you to access the technical elements of the course, but also provides the cases and exercises that we will be using. If you wish, you can use a copy of the 10th edition of the text. I'm sure you'll be able to find some 10th and 11th edition texts on sale somewhere, perhaps on campus or on some text site somewhere. But if you do have access to a 10th edition, you may get that for a lower price than the 11th. But please get a copy of the textbook. Now, the text really covers all the key issues of human resource management. So we look at human resource planning, we look at some legal issues, recruitment, selection, training, compensation issues, union management issues, and so on. So this is an introduction and is intended to cover a broad array of topics as opposed to dealing with any particular topic in great depth. So it serves as a foundation for some of the 4,000 level courses that are available at St. Mary's in the human resource management field. So please read the syllabus. Please note that the course is being offered through Brightspace. It's not being offered through Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or any other of the social media that are out there. In order to take the course, you will need to work through the course material on the course site. I'll explain that in a little more detail when we get to the relevant items. But please, I'm not on Facebook or Snapchat or any of those things. I need to be able to track people's participation and so on to assign participation points. So you need to be working through the course site. Thank you. One of the first things we should touch on is emails. Each week there are several announcements that I make. They get posted on the homepage of the course site here, and they get sent to you automatically by email. So that's one key way that you and I can keep in touch. Now, you must be sure that the current email address that you are using is the one that you have put into the St. Mary's email system. If you have not updated your email system, your email address in the St. Mary's system, please do so right away. So that way, your current email address is synchronized with that of St. Mary's, and you will get all of the announcements. Likewise, I return the weekly assignments by email, and you will thus get your weekly feedback on assignments in a timely fashion. So please make sure that your current email address is the one that is in the St. Mary's system. Thanks. There are 4 key items. Did I say 4? 5 key items that we have to touch base on. One is the midterm. The midterm will be written in February, and it will be an online test. You will not need a proctor for that test. The online test will cover the first 4 chapters, and it will be about 60 multiple choice items. Now, when we get a little further into the term, I will post an overview of that test. I will also send you reminders of when the test will open and when the test will close. What you will find is that you will go into the course site, and under the appropriate tab, you will be able to access the midterm quiz. You will have 75 minutes to write the quiz, and once you submit it, you're done. Now, you'll have probably 72 hours in which to write this quiz. So you can write it at your own convenience. You have your laptop or whatever, away you go. You can write it anywhere you wish. You do not need a proctor for that quiz. We will talk more about that as the quiz approaches. It is also discussed in a bit more detail on the course syllabus. Please read the course syllabus. The one item that I will touch on is do not leave the test until the last 20 minutes or so. You only have 75 minutes to write the test, and if you haven't submitted within the 75 minutes, you will get closed out. So be sure you finish within the 75 minutes. And if you decide to leave it to the last 30 minutes that the test is open, you'll only end up with 30 minutes to write it. So please make sure that you log in to give yourself sufficient time to write the test. The second item is the final exam. The final exam will be written either on campus or online. Now, if you are living and taking the course within the 100-kilometer zone around St. Mary's, you will be required to come to campus for the final exam. Now, the final exam will be scheduled day, date, time, location by the registrar's office, not by me. So, again, when we get closer to that time, we'll look for those postings, and I'll send some announcements and so on that will remind you of those things. Okay. If you are outside the 100-kilometer zone, you can take the final exam online. However, you are required to get a proctor. Now, you have to complete a document and submit it to St. Mary's University. If you go on the syllabus to the section that deals with the final exam, you will find a link. You can click on that link, you complete what's required and submit it to the address provided, and away you go. You've applied to write online. You can follow those instructions. Do not leave it to the last minute. You must organize your proctor very early in the term. I do not manage the process of proctors. Please read the relevant section of the syllabus and complete the material requested by the link. Go into that link and complete that form and submit it. And again, please do it early. Do not leave it till March or April. Most people live within the 100-kilometer zone. That is, most people who are taking this course live within the 100-kilometer zone. So they will be on campus to write the exam, so it's not an issue. But for the few who might be outside, please make your proctor arrangements early in the term. Thanks. Now, there's a term report that's to be completed by the team. There are no individual team reports accepted. That is stated very clearly on the course syllabus. So please don't send me a note in March, late March, early April saying, oh, gee, I couldn't meet with my team. I didn't get it done. I've done it by myself. Here it is. I will not be accepting any individual team term reports. Now, the team term report is really a paper that should be about 7 to 8 double-spaced typewritten pages, should have a title page and a reference page. Those are not part of the 7 or 8. But basically, in the report, which is detailed in the course syllabus, you must, as a team, find some literature, relatively recent literature, and look at what's going on in the field of HR. What are the roles of HR? What are the historical roles of HR? What are the current roles of HR? What shifts are we seeing in roles in HR? And what are the impacts of those shifts in roles in terms of what HR professionals need to know or be able to do? Yeah? So your paper, which should rely on academic and professional sources, not Wikipedia, but academic and professional sources, your paper should be cited and referenced using APA style. Now, for those of you who are familiar with that, that's fine. For those of you who are less familiar with the APA style, I will be posting some sample material in terms of how you might paraphrase and cite, quote and cite, and how you will create a list of references. So I'll post that later on, and we will talk some more about that. But please understand that you'll be working with your team members on a report on the field of HR and some of the changes that are taking place there and how those changes are affecting the role, skills, knowledge, and so on of HR practitioners. There is a discussion site available in the course for you to work on your team term report. For example, if you go to the course homepage and on the right-hand side, the upper right-hand side, you'll see course activities. Click on the course activities and you'll see a drop box. There's an element of the drop box labeled discussions. So if you click on the discussions tab, that will bring you into the discussions area, and you'll see module 1, discussion 1, module 1, assignment 1, module 2, discussion 2, so on and so forth. Now, at the end of module 3, discussion 3, immediately after that, you will see a site that you can use to discuss your team term report. So any discussions, you can just go in and you can post, some kind of note. Hey, let's get started on the team report. Who's going to look after which part, and so on and so forth. Please hold that discussion using the team term report discussion site. Okay? Again, go to the syllabus, please. Read the syllabus. In particular, look at the requirements for the team term report. You're better off getting started sooner, not getting started later. No individual team term reports. If you send me an individual team term report, I will simply give you a 0. Won't even read it. So work with your team, please. All right, so the fourth element here, we've had the midterm, we've had the final, we've had the team term report. Now the fourth element is participation. So what has happened here is I have created 12 modules. Now in the first 11 of those modules, and by and large we're doing a module a week, but it's laid out in the syllabus week by week. We will have a discussion case. Now, what's required here? For example, with Module 1, you will go to Module 1, Discussion 1, and there will be a case indicated, an incident. And all these cases and incidents are available in the textbook. And the syllabus tells you which page and so on. Now, please be aware that the syllabus is built around the 11th edition. So page numbers in there refer to the 11th edition pages. They don't refer to the pages in the 10th edition. If you're using the 10th edition, you'll just have to locate the case yourself. The chapter titles and sequencing are the same in the 10th and 11th editions. So if the syllabus tells you it's on page such and such at the end of chapter 6 in the 11th edition, you can find that case or incident at the end of chapter 6 in the 10th edition. But there's quite a difference in the page numbering there. But it's easy to find. So, with the participation, there is nothing that you have to submit to me. There is no Word document that has to come to me. What you do is you read the case, and you'll see the case or incident has 2, 3, 4 questions. Your job is to simply write a post. You go into the proper discussion site for a particular discussion, and you write your initial response. If you do that, you get 3. Okay? What you then have to do is you have to write 2 responses to any 2 posts by team members. So you will have a week to do that. The discussion will open on the Monday morning and it will close on the following Sunday night. So the idea would be, again, to read about this issue of participation in the syllabus, but the idea would be to start early. There's no immediate work due the first few days of class. What do we have? Week 1 is January 3rd to January 7th. So that's really just an introduction to the course week. You can use the planning form under the discussion tab. That should be the first form that crops up under discussions. You can use that to introduce yourself to your group members and begin to have some discussion about how you plan to manage the course. And you can use that time to start reading the text and begin familiarizing yourself with Brightspace and how it works. It's not particularly different. An old guy like myself can figure it out. I'm sure it's going to be quite easy for you to figure out too. So, you've got a few days at the start of term, but please use them wisely. In the second week, which begins January 8th and runs to January 14th, we begin Module 1. Module 1 really focuses on Chapter 1. And again, this is all detailed in the course syllabus. But there is a team discussion case. It's Human Resource Decision Making at Calgary Importers Limited on pages 42 to 43 of the text. So there are two discussion questions that follow. All you have to do for the participation then is read the case, think about your answers, and then post the answers to the 2 questions. You do your own post, your own thread in the discussion section, and then people in your group can respond to your initial post. Other people in your group will make an initial post, and then you can respond to their posts. So an initial post gets you 3. 2 other posts to other people's initial posts for discussion 1 will get you 2. So there's a total of 5, I'll say, points available for the first discussion. Well, week 3, module 2 also has a discussion. So please, again, read the discussion case for the week, make your initial post, and then respond to 2 others. There's another 5. So my point is, after 11 of these discussion cases, you will have had a chance to get 55 points. Well, those of you who complete all of those and get 5 points each week will have a score of 55. That will be 55 out of 55. Participation is worth 15% of the final grade. So those of you who get 55 out of 55 are going to get 100% of 15. If you only pick up about half of the 55 points for participation, then you'll pick up about half of 15%, which would be 7.5. So please, it's quite easy to read. You don't have to go out anywhere. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to meet people. You don't have to discuss with others in the sub or Tim Hortons or any of those places. You can just do it from home. You can post your responses. Okay? Again, what I'm looking for is your initial posting and then your follow-up responses. And I just track those, and away you go. Some people sail through this and they pick up 55 out of 55 points and get full participation value quite quickly and easily. Some people don't do anything and they lose all the participation points. And with others, it's hit and miss. So some people get 10 or 12 or 8 out of 15. But if you want 15 easy participation points, they're there. However, you have to read the chapter, you have to read the incident, you have to post something that's reasonable, and then you have to respond to 2 others' posts. It may sound a little complicated, I'm just trying to hit the highlights here, but please read the course syllabus. If you're unsure about anything at any time, please send me an email or call me, and we'll sort it out very, very quickly. Don't let things sit. All right, the 5th item then is the team assignments. Now, these are team assignments. These are not individual assignments. Do not send me an individual assignment. If you send me an individual assignment, you will get 0. I do not take individual assignments. So, each individual in the course will be assigned to a group by the system. You will have access to your own group or team discussion areas. I mentioned them in passing a couple of times already. Again, if you go to the course activities tab in the upper right of the course homepage in Brightspace and click on that, you get a little drop box and it will say discussions there at some point. You click on discussions. It will take you into Module 1, Discussion 1 for participation, and then there will be Module 1, Assignment 1. Now, assignments are different from discussions. Okay? What is required with the assignment is that each group will submit its answers to an assignment case. For example, in week 1, there's nothing due. January 3rd to January 7th. Just get familiar with the system. But in week 2, we will move into Module 1. There is a team assignment case there. It's listed on the syllabus, but it's Incident 1-2, Canadian Biomedical Instruments Limited. It's on page 43 of the text. Now, there are 2 questions that follow that case, and your job as a team is to develop a written response to those case questions and submit the answers to me as a Word document. A Word document, please. Don't send in PDFs, don't send in other forms. Please give me a Word document. Now, the assignment must be submitted through the Dropbox, okay, which is also found under course activities. Okay? And it is due by 11 p.m. on Sunday, in this instance, January 14th. As you go through the syllabus, for example, we move into week 3. We have module 2. Well, the assignment case for module 2 will be due by 11 p.m. on Sunday, January 21st, and so on. Please read the syllabus. Now, part of the course requires that you do some planning. Now, the course syllabus discusses the role of the team leader. And what should happen here, you're going to be working in a group with about 5 or 6 people. So each assignment requires a team leader. So the team leader will be the one who will initiate the discussion of the team assignment. The team leader is just not going to sit down and write the answer to the assignment and submit it on behalf of everyone else. You will have a discussion. You will find Module 1, Assignment 1 discussion site, so you can go there and discuss the answer. But what you also need to do is determine who's going to be team leader for which week. So you can use your planning discussion form to work out some of those things. So the team leader will perhaps volunteer or what have you. Somebody will say, yeah, I'll do assignment 1. So what that means is people will contribute their responses to the case questions. You can have a discussion about those questions and answers, and then the team leader will be responsible for pulling together the material that's been developed by the team and provide a coherent, substantive answer, a Word document. That Word document is due by 11 p.m. on Sunday. Now, that does not mean that you've got till 11 o'clock Sunday night to get your material to the team leader. The team leader will set the schedule, and I think it's unreasonable. The team leader has to submit by 11 p.m. The team leader has to submit the team assignment on behalf of the team. That 11 p.m. on Sunday night is the team leader or the TL's deadline. It's not your deadline to get material to the team leader. The team leader should be able to establish a schedule and say, okay, let's discuss this case between, say, Monday and Friday, and I'll post a draft by Saturday morning, and you respond to me by 5 p.m. on Saturday night, and then I'll take the assignment and tidy it up, finish it up, and submit it. That's the team leader's role. Okay, so if the team leader asks you to submit your material before noon on Saturday or by 6 p.m. on Friday, then please follow the team leader's schedule. The team leader then has to take part of his or her weekend to finish that assignment and submit it on behalf of the team. Okay? Now, if people in your group do not contribute to the team assignments, then do not put their name on the assignment submission. Likewise, if they submit material that's too late to use, don't put their name on the team assignment. Okay? So if your name is not included in a team assignment, then you will not get credit for that. There are 12 assignments, pretty much one a week. You submit them on Sunday. I return them by Friday or Saturday of the next week, sometimes earlier. But generally, I just download the Word documents, I read them, I comment on them. My comments are done in bold so they stand out, and I provide a mark. Then I return it to the team through the Brightspace system. So each week you will get feedback on your team assignment. Okay? But you have to be cooperative and work with the team, work with the team leader, and follow the schedule, and not just send in things at last minute, assuming because you've sent them in that your name will be included. You have to operate in a timely and cooperative fashion. So it seems, by and large, the system works. But from time to time, there's an individual who comes in 3 weeks late, hasn't read the syllabus, doesn't know what to do, and then sends in an assignment. It's not how it works. You must work with your team. Everyone is going to be a team leader. The role of team leader is meant to rotate. So here's an opportunity for people to develop leadership skills and so on and so forth, working with others. The cases are not difficult, but they are nicely tied to the chapter material and the human resource management material specifically and generally. So while you're working on these cases, both in the discussion section for participation points and in the assignment section for assignment points, you are in essence studying for the midterm and studying for the final. So please read the syllabus, follow the instructions, get stuck in right away. Don't wait. Okay? If there's an issue, if there's something that you don't understand or something that may not be clear, please let me know right away. Okay? If there's something not making sense in the syllabus, or you might have a date that doesn't make sense, please check with me right away. And I do respond to my emails. Generally, I respond to emails in the morning and usually later in the day, early evening. So they don't come through to my phone or anything like that. They just come through to the system that I have here. So I think I've tried to hit the highlights. Okay? No requirements for discussions. You just post your answers and I'll deal with the material there. Assignments, please, yes, you do submit a Word document, but it's submitted by the team leader on behalf of the team. No individual assignments. There is a team term report. Yes, that's a team term report. There are no individual reports. Obviously, midterm and final exams are done individually. So, thank you very much. Please read the syllabus. Make sure that your current email address, the one that you're using on a daily basis, is the one that is in the St. Mary's system, so that you get all the announcements and emails that I do send out. Okay? Please make use of the discussion forums that are available to you. Take the few days at the start of term when there's nothing due, there's no great pressure. Take that time to go into the Brightspace system and have a look at things. Okay? And the one item I did forget, because I didn't make a note, is that when I return your weekly assignment, I also post a sample answer to the assignment case and a sample answer to the discussion case. So you'll get not only feedback from my comments, but feedback in terms of some sample answers that I will post. Okay, so thank you very much for watching and listening, and have a great term, and I'll talk with you soon. Thank you very much.